Well, you see and hear a lot about Second Harvest on KQ2, but what you don't see is all the work they do behind the scenes. Let's go inside and take a look and learn a little bit more. Hello there, how are you?
Fine, how are you?
Good to see you. Now, I know you as my teacher from high school, but you're doing something different these days. Tell us about that.
I am. After you, there was just no hope for most high school students.
Can you hear it? You believe this?
Nathan, now I have the privilege of working at Missouri Western. I'm the interim chair of the education department, and we have two great degrees, elementary ed and early childhood, and then we work with all of the secondary departments and to prepare those high school teachers.
Tell us what you're doing here at
I was going to say,
Harvest,
I'm here because I am a hunger advocate for Second Harvest. I'm very active in volunteering with the Backpack Buddy program. Fantastic program, so important. We'll take you upstairs later and show you some of the area. And I will tell you that I've been in the schools when the Backpack Buddy announcement went out, and you want to clear the hallways because that's so important to those kids.
All right, so this looks like this is where it all happens.
The assembly line, that's right.
Tell us how this works.
Well, the way I understand this works, we start with a sack, we put one of each thing into them, tie them up, and they're ready for the pallets that are going out to the schools. Backpack Buddy program started with just a handful of children through Leadership St. Joe. Now, just in St. Joseph, they feed 750 kids a week.
Wow.
Across Northwest Missouri, Northeast Kansas, 2,500 kids a week. Now, you know I've been in education a long time, and I know that if students are distracted, if they haven't met their basic needs, in this case, food, they don't concentrate. They can't concentrate. If you start in elementary school not concentrating, you're probably behind by the time you get to high school, and then you're probably not ready for post-secondary work. Also important is the fact that the state, and in fact the nation, is on a push for early childhood education. The younger we can start them in learning activities, the better off we're all going to be, and we know that those kids depend a lot upon the nutrition that they get. One great thing about the Backpack Buddy program, if an elementary school student has a younger sibling at home, Second Harvest makes sure that they get food for the weekend too.
All right, so everyone's taken care of that way.
That's right. I've talked to a mom who had a little boy come home with food for himself and for his little sister and say, "It's okay, Mom, I'll take care of things this weekend." And I think that's probably the best testament to what they're doing here at Second Harvest.
Well, you really get to see the benefits of this. Sometimes people probably don't think that something so simple can have such an impact. I mean, this really goes down the road, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And the students are excited about it. It's great to see them want to trade a Rice Krispie treat for a carton of milk and have some exchange going on, but there's interaction for them, and we know they're fed. Teachers have found that in homes where the food supply may get short by the end of the month, the students do much less quality work toward the end of the month than they do at the beginning of the month. So they actually have to rearrange things like testing to fit the beginning of the month for families like this.
All right, well, it all starts here, and thank you very much for telling us about this day, and good to see you.
Good to see you, Nathan.
Take care.
Uh-huh.
Okay. David, how's it going?
Going great, Nathan.
Good to see you. Thanks for having us here. And
sure.
You know, you go in here, you look, and I see food everywhere. I mean, this is a lot of food you have here.
It may seem like a lot of food, but what you're seeing here usually rolls out of here in about 15 days, and you know, we distribute about 4.4 million pounds of food a year, and that's going to increase in the future. We're looking at 5 to 6, all the way up to 8 over the next few years to get this distribution in line with really the needs of the region. And so what you're seeing right here, you know, it might seem like a lot, but it'll be out in pantries and other nonprofits and shelters and other organizations over the next week or so. Well, all the way across the area.
There are a lot of things, I guess, around here, aren't there, that people think they know but don't really know, and just like that. I mean, I assume that this is a lot, and in reality it goes out in just a couple of weeks, basically.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is a time right now where you see some food floor stacked in between the aisles, and that's not a very efficient way to manage the warehouse. But with the current demand that our partner agencies have right at the moment, with the new clients and the frequency of clients coming to their agencies going way up, we just need to bring in more and more food, and there's just not enough space in this facility to get it all up into the racks and get it into the inventory system, because it's out as quick as it gets here.
How does that work? When you talk about partner agencies and that kind of thing, how do you work together with agencies here in the area?
Yeah, sure. There's over 100 nonprofits across the region that rely on Second Harvest to provide the food. And if people have a pantry at their church or a shelter in their community, those types of agencies, they don't typically get their food from a store. They'll come and get it from us. We're their grocer, and they'll go online, place an order in our automated system, right live with our inventory. We'll pull that food out of inventory and have it ready for them to come pick it up the next day or delivered the day after. So we run trucks across 19 counties and make sure that when our partner agencies, those pantries, those shelters, soup kitchens across the region, when they need food, that we have it available for them. And as the challenges in our economy continue, as more and more families, children, and seniors need emergency food assistance, it continues to put more and more stress on this organization and our assets like this facility here to meet that demand.
You talked about the space need, and that's another thing where I would look around here and think, this is a big old building. I mean, you got a lot of space in here, but it's not a lot of space when you talk about that need increasing, is it?
Sure. I would think that it would be best for our organization to be able to have a 2 to 3 week inventory, always on site, behind what is typically going out at a very rapid rate. That way, in the event that something occurs, such as flooding or challenge somewhere in our state, tornadoes in Joplin, that we can respond to those without causing shortages in the partner agencies that we serve.
What can people that are out in the community seeing this right now, what can they do to help at Second Harvest?
Well, 3 things have to happen in a community for that community to effectively address the issue of hunger. And the first thing that has to happen is we need to make sure that those who are eligible for nutrition assistance programs have access to those programs. And we talk about children, it's the free or reduced lunch program at school, it's summer feeding sites, so those kids can access programs during the summertime. And it's the SNAP program, which used to be called food stamps. These are critically important to a community because food banks aren't a substitute for those programs. We're designed to catch people not completely serviced and not completely their issues completely handled with those other programs. So the second thing that has to happen is that a community has to have some type of effective distribution system so people can reach out for food assistance when they need it. And the last thing, and this is really critical, is that the community really needs to embrace that core belief that hunger, especially in the life of a child, is unacceptable. And if they embrace that belief and act on it as an advocate or a donor or a volunteer, and the food bank does its part, and we ensure that private and public partners do their part, and we can eradicate hunger. Hunger doesn't have to exist in a community. There's plenty of food. It's a matter of making sure that those who are in need have access to it.
All right, and if you have, I guess, one thing you can do, what's your vision? What do you want to change here?
Well, I think that we can do great things together with the communities across our region, especially here in St. Joseph over the next 3 to 5 years. I think with the assets at hand, the right size facility, some vehicles, some expanded programs, that we can really eradicate the issue of hunger in the communities across our service territory. Now, we can't always effectively deal with the issue of food insecurity, but we can make sure that whenever anyone is in need of food and reaches out for assistance, that not only is food available, but that it's healthy and nutritious, and helps children thrive, it helps seniors stay healthy, and helps create a healthier community.
All right, well, it starts here, right? We've got to get the
Absolutely.
community involved. David, thank you very much for
Thank you,
having
Nick.
us here today and giving us
Sure
a
thing.
behind-the-scenes look. And as David said, we'll put the information on the screen for you so you can get a hold of them here at Second Harvest, find out all the various ways you can help start toward that goal of eradicating hunger here in our community.